You don't have to speak to prove your power. You just have to stop giving it away. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that true strength doesn't come from dominance or loudness. It comes from silence, stillness, and self-possession. Because once you've mastered your mind, very few people can touch you. Most people try to outsmart others by being the most vocal, the fastest to respond, the most visibly confident, but Nietzsche saw a deeper game being played. He taught that your presence can be more powerful than your words, that the person who can hold their silence, who doesn't flinch, doesn't react, is the one who owns the room. You outsmart others by refusing to be predictable, by not reacting to provocation, by letting your stillness unnerve them. When someone pushes you and you don't move, they're forced to question their assumptions. When you listen instead of defend, you become dangerous in the best way, not because you're aggressive, but because you're grounded. Nietzsche believed in becoming a master of the self first, a creator of values, not a follower of noise. That means you don't need to outtalk people to rise above them. You outsee them. You observe what they miss. And that's what gives you the edge. The strongest move is often no move at all. Not because you're passive, but because you're 5 steps ahead. And when your presence is rooted in self-awareness, you don't need to convince anyone of your power. They'll feel it without you saying a word. Nietzsche believed that the one who governs themselves first will eventually influence others without trying. Because true control starts internally, not externally. When you're reactive, you're readable. And when you're readable, you're easy to manipulate. But when you master the art of stillness, you become unpredictable. And in that silence, people reveal themselves. Most people speak to fill space, to prove something, to control how they're perceived. But when you no longer need to perform, you start to listen differently. You start to see motives, not just words. Nietzsche saw this kind of clarity as a form of higher strength, not brute force, but insight. Not domination, but discernment. You outsmart others by resisting the urge to compete on their terms. Someone tries to provoke you, you pause. Someone tries to impress you, you don't flinch. Someone tries to confuse you, you don't need to answer. Silence unsettles those who live loudly, and stillness dismantles those who expect chaos. Nietzsche wrote, "He who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. If you react to everything, you become like the very thing you're trying to outwit." The smarter move? Stay still. Stay watching. Let others expose themselves trying to get a reaction from you. Your restraint is intelligence. Your awareness is your weapon. You don't need to overpower people with arguments. You don't need to dominate conversations. The person who speaks the least often sees the most, and the one who doesn't rush to prove themselves is usually the one who understands what's really going on. This is how you outsmart anyone, by needing nothing from them at all. The most dangerous person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one who's not seeking approval, the one who watches, absorbs, and acts only when it matters. Friedrich Nietzsche believed that most people are driven by the herd, chasing validation, comfort, and recognition. But the rare few who break free from that instinct, who think for themselves, can't be controlled. And when you're not controlled, you can't be manipulated. You outsmart others by being rooted in your values, not their opinions. You don't flinch when someone questions you. You don't over-explain when they doubt you, because you're not building your identity on being understood. You're building it on being real. Nietzsche called this becoming the Übermensch, the higher individual, someone who rises above the crowd, not with arrogance, but with independence. And independence isn't loud, it's steady. It's when you walk into a room without needing to perform, when you can let others talk, posture, and impress, while you remain unmoved. That stillness creates pressure. It forces others to face themselves, because they can't read you, they can't control you, and that bothers people who rely on reaction. Nietzsche taught that when you stop mirroring the crowd, you become a mirror for them instead. Your silence reflects their insecurity. Your calm reveals their chaos. Your presence exposes their need for attention, and that's the paradox. You win by not playing their game. You rise by staying grounded. You dominate without aggression. You don't outtalk. You outlast. You outsee. You outweight. This is not about ego. It's about strength. The kind of strength that doesn't ask to be noticed, but cannot be ignored. To outsmart others without saying a word, you must first become someone who no longer needs to prove anything. Nietzsche believed that power is not something you show, it's something you carry. It's how you move. how you pause, how you see clearly when everyone else is reacting. Most people enter a room trying to be seen, trying to speak, impress, dominate. But the person who observes instead of reacts controls the energy of the room. You hold power by refusing to explain your silence, by staying grounded when others are chasing control. Nietzsche taught that the highest form of strength isn't in confrontation, it's in mastery of the self. The ability to walk away without needing to win, the discipline to remain calm when tested, the intelligence to act only when it counts. This doesn't mean becoming passive. It means becoming intentional. You don't engage in every debate. You don't entertain manipulation. You don't react just because someone wants a reaction. You let their words pass through you. You study them. You wait. And while they show their hand, you hold your silence like a sword. People reveal their motives when they speak too much. They expose their fears when they try too hard to control the conversation. All you have to do is listen, watch, and remember that your awareness is already one move ahead. You outsmart by being still. You win by not needing to. And when your presence carries more weight than your voice, you've already won the game. They don't even know they're playing. Real intelligence doesn't chase attention. It notices everything, says little, and moves with precision. Nietzsche believed that wisdom wasn't about having all the answers. It was about learning how to carry your power quietly. Because when you're calm in chaos, you become the signal in a world full of noise. You begin to understand. You don't have to react. You don't have to argue. You don't even have to speak. You just have to stay rooted in your truth. People reveal themselves through their need to be seen, heard, and validated. But the one who's already whole, they don't chase. They choose. They choose when to act, when to speak, when to walk away. Nietzsche called for us to rise above blind reaction, to become individuals who shape our lives through will, not weakness. And willpower doesn't mean force. It means restraint. It means strategy. It means seeing 10 moves ahead and staying silent on the 9th. You outsmart anyone when you no longer need to be understood. You become unshakable when your emotions are no longer easy to access. And you gain the upper hand, not by overpowering people, but by being untouched by their chaos. This is what makes you powerful, not your arguments, not your knowledge, but your ability to stay still when others unravel. If this message speaks to something in you, that quiet strength, that inner edge, subscribe to The Wisdom Seeker. Here, we don't chase noise. We study it. We turn thought into clarity, and clarity into power, because the most brilliant moves often begin in silence.